To live is Christ. With K.P. Yohannan, President and founder of Gospel for Asia, international speaker, and author of over 150 books.
A letter came to me some years ago from the mission field, and my wife brought it to me and said, "Would you please read this?" And I was sitting in my office in Dallas in a comfortable chair. I finished reading the letter. I was weeping on my knees. Letter came from a dear brother, a native missionary that worked in Hardwar by river Ganges. During that couple of weeks' time, 35 million Hindus walked and traveled by train and bullock carts and buses from all over the country to go in this dirty, polluted waters of river Ganges, washing themselves for the forgiveness of sins. This one missionary, working among these people, telling about Jesus, one evening he was coming home, and now in the letter he writes the experience, what happened that evening. He said, "I saw this young woman sitting by the bank of the river, weeping uncontrollably and pounding upon her chest. Knowing something so terrible happened, I went to her and asked, 'Why are you weeping? What happened?' She replied, 'My husband is sick. He cannot work anymore. My sins are so many that nobody knows about. To find forgiveness for my sins and solution to the problems of my home, I have given the best offering I can give to Goddess Ganges. My only son, my 6-month-old baby boy, I just threw him into the river.'" Next paragraph. "I sat beside her, explained to her the gospel. Her sins are forgiven 2,000 years ago, I explained to her. That God is not angry with her. God didn't make her poor." He writes, "As I explained the gospel to her, all of a sudden she wiped her tears and looked straight into my eyes and said these words, 'But why didn't you come to me half hour sooner? I didn't have to kill my child. I never heard this before. But why didn't you come to me half hour sooner?' She went back crying again. Now I was on my knees saying, 'Jesus, I surrender every drop of my blood, every fiber of my being, my wife, my children, all that I am, for 2 billion people like her crying out, why? And Lord, till the last second of my journey, I will want to give myself to see those people reached with the gospel.' When was the last time you as a family sat down and said, 'Let's talk about it'? Half of the world go to bed with empty stomach and naked bodies. Some 80,000 die every day and slip into hell. You and your wife and kids and as a family, when was the last time you made a pact, a discussion and say, 'We will live as strangers and pilgrims on this earth with sacrifice and commitment and tears and fasting, and touch the lost world with our lifestyle and commitment?' 2 brothers we trained in one of our schools and sent them out to work among the Muslims, the people of Islam. Hussein and Salsal, their names. One morning as they were going about their ministry, a group of men met them. They greeted them with kindness, said, 'Namaste.' Said, 'Yeah, namaste. Oh, so you are Hussein and you are Salsal. You came to tell us about your Jesus.' Our brothers thought they were very friendly, nice people. Said, 'Yes, we are so happy to be here to tell you about Jesus.' No more exchange, no more conversation. The leader pulled out a dagger and stabbed into the heart of Brother Hussein. He fell in a pool of blood Well, Salsal grabbing hold of him, weeping, they stabbed him 6 times. Believing that both are dead, these men fled. Salsal, it took months to recover, but Hussein died on the spot. He left the 99 and went after the one until he found it and took it up and came home. Today, listen, the story is not one outside the fold, one inside, and 99 out there. 1 billion people in the land of India, half of them never heard the name Jesus even one time in their life. Forget about redemption, sanctification, and all the doctrines we fight and squabble about. 22 million people in northern Bihar without one church, one missionary among that many people. 17 million in Afghanistan without one known Christian. Who must begin to feel the burden and commit our life to touch these people? And I cried out to God on my knees and said, Lord, take eternity and stamp on my eyes, for I cannot change myself. I'm so self-centered. In His mercy and grace and compassion and love, He began to change my heart. Next time we went to the store, I didn't buy the $1.50 deodorant soap. I switched to Ivory, 35 cents. And I don't like Ivory either. I'm not promoting that soap. A Hindu Brahmin, a landlord, came by and got a gospel tract in Hindi language. He was running away from his home to commit suicide, having cancer in his body. First time in his life, in the late 50s, an older man read with his own eyes, God came to this world for you. Jesus died on the cross to save you from sin and hell, and He wants to save you if you call upon Him. And there's a prayer he can pray to Jesus. On the street that afternoon, this man knelt down in his own native language, crying out to a God to ever in his life, asking Him to come into his life and forgive his sin and save him. He got up. Something happened. Peace came into his heart. And he didn't commit suicide. He ran home and went to the same hospital and told the doctors, Doctor, I feel so good. Can you check me? What we can do? You are sick. We did everything we can. No, doctor, you please one more time. So he persisted. They checked him up, down, everywhere, inside out. He said, what did you take? There's no trace of cancer in your body. You're completely cured. But the question, how did that all happen? One gospel tract that costs less money than what I pay for chewing gum. And I like chewing gum. I cannot tell you the car, the house, and what you should do. That's none of my business. Nobody's business, as a matter of fact. But let Him tell you how you can simplify your life so that others can hear the gospel. And you know, my sister, you don't need another diamond ring. He loves you anyway. You're going to hold a car, lay your hand on it in Jesus' name. It will run again. But let the Lord guide you.
If God has touched your heart with the burden to help reach the unreached, won't you sponsor a native missionary today? Gospel for Asia sends 100% of your native missionary support to the mission field. You may be interested to know that Gospel for Asia has a number of books and videos that will help you in your walk with the Lord. KP's best-selling book, The Revolution and World Missions, is a must-read book for Christians of all ages. It has been used by the Lord to challenge and encourage the lives of believers all around the world. If you would like to order any of our publications, or if you're interested in obtaining more information about Gospel for Asia, please visit our website at www.gfa.org.